Hello there, lads and ladettes. This is the Coaster Lad coming in with my first ever video. Today I'm joined by one of my friends, Mr. Tie Guy.
Hello.
And today we will be ranking the coasters at Hersheypark as of our opinions 2020. Now our opinions are slightly different, but they are mostly the same. So let us get into this. Coming in at number 15, this was definitely very expected, Coco Cruiser. It is a very painful children's ride, so obviously it's the worst in the park. What do you think, Tyler?
I agree. It's not one of my favorites. It's definitely the lowest. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, the only perk about it is that you get to ride twice.
And it's for kids.
Yeah. Number 14, we have the Sidewinder, yet another very painful ride. Both of us dislike how shaky this coaster can be, even though it is one of the smoother Vekoma boomerangs. I believe the drop is my only
Favorite part.
part that I
Really
actually
good
like. The vertical loop is alright, but can also be very shaky, especially going backwards.
And the Cobra roll,
The
dude.
Cobra Roll, this ride has made Cobra Roll my least favorite coaster element in all of existence.
We did think it was a pretty good ride, but then after riding it a little bit ago,
Yeah.
it was just ouch.
Our 2020 rides on this thing so far have not been pleasant. So, moving on to 13, we have another painful ride.
Wild Mouse.
But it's in our opinion, it would be the least painful in the
Yeah,
park.
it's the least painful
Out of these ones. So yeah, the turns are average, painful levels, and then the drops on this ride, while still being a little painful, they at least
They're
give you
pretty good.
some good airtime compared to other rides. So in this lower level.
So yeah, it's definitely the better of the painful rides.
Yes. Coming in at 12, we have a non-painful ride at all, but a very boring average ride. It's not bad,
More
but
for the GP.
yeah, GP, families.
Yeah,
So,
definitely families.
yeah, Trailblazers all right. The double helix at the end is definitely a decent element. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty good if you're with a family,
yeah.
kids.
Number 11. Now we're getting into the good rides. This is the Comet, a classic 1946 PTC Woody. Definitely has very good restraints in the park. So with this ride though, it's gotten a little bit shaky over the past few years. A back row ride is definitely the best on this, as you get the best airtime with the first couple drops. The bunny hills personally do not do anything good for me though, so that's why this is so low on the list. Number 10, we have the Comet's brother. Right next to it in the hollow is the Super Duper Looper.
Good ride.
It is a very good ride. The vertical loop is very enjoyable. It's packing some good G's. Again, it's not the most intense thing in the world, but like
It is kinda
Trailblazer,
old.
it is pretty fun. It is kind of old, but it's a good ride. Sadly, it is not operating so far this season, but we will still remember it until it opens back up.
And let's hope it stays for a while.
Yep. Coming in at number 9, we got Laugh Track. Now,
Lol.
now, this ride normally would not rank so highly on my list in previous years, but so far in 2020, I've gotten a lot of good rides on this ride, with the line being pretty short compared to normal, and my train has been pretty off-balanced, so I've been getting a lot of spinning in.
Oh yeah, the spinning was so fun.
It's been pretty good, but yeah, so Laugh Track's number 9. Number 8, now this is where some people, especially Intamin fanboys, might get mad at me. And, yeah, a lot of my friends. We all agree. Fahrenheit is it's a good ride.
but it's not the best. In our
Yeah,
opinions.
it's definitely one of my favorite drops, but I'm not that big of an inversions guy, especially slow inversions. And Fahrenheit definitely seems like the inversions are kind of slow, but
Doesn't seem too intense, but it's still pretty. It's still pretty intense.
it's a good ride. It's a good ride, but not one of our favorites. Now this is where we get a lot of hate. Wildcat. At least for Tyler and I here, we really like this ride. It doesn't have the most intense things in the world. It's definitely not one of the best, but it's a good wooden coaster.
I enjoy it. I like how rough it is. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's too rough," but like, I personally like it. It's not too rough, and it's not like too smooth. It's just, for me, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's like a classic wooden coaster. It is the shakiest out of the wooden coasters here, but at least its shakiness provides more fun than pain, like Sidewinders does.
Exactly.
Wildcat does have some very good laterals, and airtime is decent. I really like the trains on it. I believe if they were to do anything with this ride, like a RMC or anything like that, I would appreciate it, but it is not needed for me. Number 6, we have the Great Bear, a fantastic ride.
Amazing.
We're getting to the best of the best now at Hershey, and we still have a lot more to go. So with Great Bear, it is a very smooth ride most of the time. A front row on this is definitely a fun experience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you get tons of wind on your face. It feels like you're flying through the sky.
The restraints are nice.
Yeah, the inversions are really cool too.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of my favorite inversions, the 0G roll in particular, that's one of my favorites. I also really like going over the little creek right next to Super Duper Looper.
Pretty nice. That's a nice view.
It's a very good sight to see.
And I like how you're like hanging there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not like a normal like train car.
Dangly legs.
Yeah.
All right, now numbers 4 and 5 are going to be packed into one, Lightning Racer. Now the reason they're separate is because they are technically two different layouts. They're not a mirror of each other exactly, so we decided to count them as two separate spots. So number 5, we have the Lightning side. Number 4, we have the Thunder side.
Thunder Gang.
Yeah, we are indeed Thunder Gang. We find it more fun to ride on Thunder, especially because after you get off the ride, you can just... It's closer to the exit than Lightning is. Lightning, you have to walk down all over the place. And
I mean, I like Thunder. I like the layout better.
we're also big Thunder fans because of Kachiga. So, yeah. Lightning Racer is a good overall ride. One of the best dueling coasters out there. Number 3, we have Skyrush. Now, in previous years, this was my number 1, but it has been pushed down a little bit this season. Compared to Candemonium's, very comfortable restraints, Skyrush's, I just figured out how painful they were this season in comparison, and that has bumped Skyrush down for me. It's still an intense ride, one of the most intense things
Still
in
fun.
the world. Very fun, just a bit painful. If it had more comfortable restraints, like if the restraints weren't hydraulic even, it would probably be my number 1 in the park still, but sadly it has been bumped down.
Thigh Crush is a good the
Thigh Crush.
Yeah, the nickname that we have for it, and probably a lot of other people. Thigh Crush. Most people. Yeah, it's still a fun ride, but it hurts.
The first drop is amazing though.
Oh, for sure.
Number 2. Now this has been bumped up for me. This is number 1 for a few of my friends, but it's been bumped up in front of Skyrush for me this year. I really miss it. I'll have to wait till next year to get another ride on it. Storm Runner, the classic "Get Ready, Here We Go" line.
Launch from zero.
Shout out to Hershey Addict.
Yeah, this was my top ride. This is my number 1. I just really like the launch at the beginning. It's just, especially in the front with all that wind in your face. It's just great.
Yeah, Top Hat also provides some very good airtime. Then you got the Cobra Loop, and then the Flying Snake Dive. Flying Snake Dive is definitely my favorite inversion. Just wish this ride was a little bit longer and maybe had like another airtime hill. Then that would make it my top ride probably.
And I just wish it was open, dude.
Yeah. Now we have an honorable mention, Breaker's Edge.
We don't really consider this a coaster.
No one really considers it a coaster, but
we'll just put it in here.
Yeah, just put it on the list because.
Why not?
So with Breaker's Edge, we've only gotten a few rides on it. It's closed so far this season, so that's too sad. But I enjoy this ride. I'd say if we had to rank it on the list somewhere, I'd put it somewhere probably close
7
to
and 8.
Laugh Track, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a little bit lower than 7 or 8, but yeah, probably near Laugh Track and Looper territory.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing in the world, but still pretty good. And here we go. Number 1, very expected. Candemonium, the new coaster for 2020. Very smooth,
Love it.
amazing restraints.
The restraints are perfect. They need that on Skyrush.
It feels like you're just flying through the sky. Front row on this thing is amazing.
Front left is my favorite.
I like front right because of the little dip at the end there. But yeah, definitely, I love every part of this ride.
The 0 Gs.
Yeah, the floater airtime on this is insane.
It feels great, dude. It's definitely one of my favorites. My number 2, I'm still gonna have Storm Runner above this. I still think Storm Runner's better in my opinion, but like, this ride is just amazing. It's so fun. It's just very enjoyable.
Only complaints would be the trims, but that can be found on any B&M Hyper. And if you get a good ride on them,
You won't even feel it.
I normally don't notice them terribly whenever I sit front row, but if you sit back, they're gonna kick in pretty hard most of the time. But hopefully you'll get lucky and you'll get a good ride. So, yep, that is our ranking today, and hopefully it will not change for next year. Hopefully everything will be pretty accurate.
And hopefully Storm Runner opens back up.
Yeah, hopefully that happens. So, thank you all for watching, and have a beautiful rest of your day.